almost falls down. Throws to the end zone. Owen! Owen! Owen!
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change. And it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in the gun, the throw on his left hip. Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good! Touchdown, 49! Vernon Davis with the play of his life. It all comes to this fourth down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle. Broken up by Navarro Bowman. And the 49ers silence the house.
Oh shit, motherfuckers. Coming out the gate like a hot cock. 1-0. Here we are.
Played it up like a lint trap.
That's right. Haven't been in this position in a few years. It's got to be a white guy. We haven't
Mark
been
Zocha.
That's right.
The
Yes, the lint trap with the interception. We haven't been. Burn your fucking house down. We haven't been. You don't know what we're talking about. Neither do we. Suck my dick. Gold Blooded Podcast 2019. Here we are. You are there. 1-0, as I was saying, for the first time in how many years? Long time. First time Kyle.
No, wrong. We've been 1-0 7 of the last 9 years, Joe.
Yeah.
You're completely wrong.
Last year?
Yeah, Harbaugh won
7
week
of the
1.
last.
What happened last year?
Lost
What
the
happened?
last 2 years.
That's-
Shanahan
Shanahan
hasn't
has yet
won.
to be 1-0.
Yeah, Shanahan hasn't won week 1 yet.
For sure. This is the first time he's ever had a winning record as a 49ers
It
head
is
coach.
the first time.
We were definitely 1-0 7 times in the last 9 years.
Yeah.
Well, the last
So-
2 was what I was referencing.
You had
I
the-
meant the Shanahan era. I thought about this on the way here, and I meant to say that.
You definitely had the
Shanahan
4 Harbaugh years, and then you had Tom Sula, who had a legendary week 1 performance.
Chip Kelly.
And then Chip Kelly had a absolutely historic night.
And that was the last time.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yes. Okay. With that, who came? And Shanahan came right after Kelly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that,
No, I think there was somebody in between. No, I'm just playing.
I don't know. It's been a rough few years. With that said, I'll just let Steve go where he wants to go.
Injuries.
We're doing big things over here. These injuries.
All right.
I don't think they could stop us this year.
Kwan Williams with the knee. He played week 1, but he's dealing with the knee, of course. Nick Bosa did play week 1, coming off the high ankle sprain he suffered all of training camp. He did not practice today, and he's still sore from the game. I think it was pretty visible. He was hampered by that a bit. You know, he was getting to Winston, and Winston was able to shake him pretty good.
He shook him once. Calm down.
Jimmy Ward did not play week 1, dealing with the broken finger. He was limited at practice today and no contact, and now it's come down to just a pain tolerance, whether he's going to go or not. He can play.
Who? Jimmy Ward?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So I guess if he doesn't play this week, then he's...
Listen, I'm here
Soft.
right now. I'm here. I'm
Yep.
in actual fucking pain. Mm-hmm. I'm here. I make nothing. 0. And I'm here.
He'll play.
No,
Mark,
he won't. No, he won't.
Mark Nazacha, he always plays if he can.
No.
Mark Nazacha, he was limited at practice today with an illness.
Who's that, Lintrap?
Yeah. Trent Taylor did not practice today, still dealing with the foot issue. Jalen Hurd did not practice today, still dealing with the back issue.
What number does he wear?
Hurd?
Yeah. 7?
Shit, I don't even remember.
I saw a video
I
of the
haven't seen
wide
him since
receivers today.
Week 2 of the preseason. I don't remember what number
It
he
was
was.
interesting who wasn't in that group today, but we'll get to that. Keep going.
Matt Breida, Robbie Gould, and Kwan Williams all had dehydration issues throughout the game.
Number 17.
17 for Hurd.
Okay.
And Tevin Coleman suffered a high ankle sprain, and it's not looking like IR, but they're saying, 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes 6-7 weeks. High ankle sprains are pretty tricky when it comes to that, and it depends on your position.
I don't really care for him anyhow.
No, I'm going to be honest, I'm not really too upset about it. I mean, it sucks that we're losing running back depth, which is the same thing that happened to us last year, and it really put us in a tough spot, but it's happening again. And it's not like we're counting on Tevin Coleman to be anything this year. It's just he's one of our top 3 running backs, and now he's not there. So that's basically all that comes down to.
All right.
I'd be much more worried about it if Raheem Mostert wasn't a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just does. And Breda as well.
And right, but there's something different about Mostert.
I agree.
He was like Deboing people.
But he did it last year for like 5 games.
Did you hear the announcer when he stiff armed somebody from Tampa, and the
Out of my
announcer said
face.
he said it should be illegal in some states. I mean, he let him have
No,
it pretty
Mostert's a
good.
badass. Yeah, Mostert's one of the unsung heroes of the past 3 years, to be honest, going all to his special teams contributions over the past 3 years.
So if we call up Jeff Wilson,
Yeah,
if that happens,
Junior.
all 3 of our running backs on the squad this weekend, all undrafted
Yep,
and all beasts by most accounts.
yep, and that is why you don't draft running backs in round 1, and that is why you don't pay running backs big money.
I agree with that unless it's someone that will carry a team.
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott will carry that team.
Yeah,
Saquon Barkley will carry that team.
for sure, but not
But that's
for
it.
what
Those are
they're
2
asking.
people. Those are 2 people, though.
Yeah.
Like out of 32 teams, 3 running backs a team, those are the only 2 I can name.
I would get outbid if I was a GM. There's no way that I would have the highest bid to land those guys if they
Yeah.
ever hit free
Yeah, it's
agency.
a tough one.
There's no way.
It's a tough one.
All right, so starting with the offense off the top.
Oh, we got to talk about.
Oh, the reactions, predictions.
Come on, we have a list. We're going to stand by it.
Okay. Rob won the prediction game. The final score of the game was 31-17. What was your guess, Rob?
He was off by 4 points.
28 to 16?
28-16, so pretty good guess.
Is that right? No,
Yeah,
there's no way.
yes.
27-17.
Okay. Yeah,
I
you
got
were-
17.
You were off
Okay,
by
that's-
4 or
yeah, you
5
nailed
points.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way I would guess a
Yeah,
16.
4 points for sure. Yep. So we had to make that statement.
Yes.
Now
27-17. You had 36 to 16, Steve. Mm-hmm. Joe was 28 to 9. Curran was 28 to 13. Chris was 24 to 19. So everybody was right in the window.
Yeah.
Everything was pretty close. Even Matterson had 24 to 13. So everybody was right around the neighborhood.
all right. So now you could talk about whatever you'd like to talk about.
Offense off the top. We had 256 total yards of offense, 158 passing, 98 rushing. We were 5 of 13 on third downs. That's not that great. 0 for 3 in the red zone. Then a little asterisk there, little fucking penalty here, penalty there, took away some touchdowns. We allowed 1 sack, 1 quarterback hit, and 3 tackles for loss. We committed 2 turnovers, and our offense committed 6 penalties. 2 of them were pre-snap penalties.
Like I said in the the group message about the Kyle Juszczyk callback for the George Kittle touchdown on the Kyle Juszczyk hold, I guess it was, whatever it was. It was fucking weak and ticky-tack as far as I'm concerned. That was, I mean, I know you say, oh, I'm a homer, but.
It was not weak or ticky-tack. It was not a foul.
Right, there you
It
go.
was not, it was 100.
Thank
I don't know
you.
if you listen. You don't listen too much, but I know Steve usually listens. Did you hear Mike Pereira this week?
No, I didn't hear him.
So they asked him about that play, and he's saying he watched it, and if you watch it, the other guy runs in directly into Juice. Juice is like
yeah, no, I
it's
watched it,
100% wrong. And Pereira goes, to me, it doesn't look like. I'm not even gonna say that it wasn't a penalty. Like he said, there's no way. It's
Like, it wasn't-
he started to sugarcoat it because he used to be a ref. He used to be
Yeah.
head of officiating. He started to like kind of fluff it a little, and he goes, I'm not even gonna say that. It's not a penalty.
It was a penalty that I couldn't see justifying bringing a touchdown back on. You know what I mean? Like sometimes a penalty happening,
They were like, they were talking about Peyton's 55 touchdown year.
Yeah.
They're like 45 of those would have been called back if that was a penalty.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because they were saying it was a holding call.
Yeah.
Or a...
Fucking awful.
Yeah, that was bad.
The OPI they called.
Offensive pass interference.
It was a pick. They said it was a pick.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, it's so
They
bad.
said it was a pick play.
Yep, but anyway, that was early on. We would have scored a touchdown pretty much immediately, if not for that. Early in the game, we had a really hard time running the ball. Didn't matter who was out there, Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida. I mean, we were coming up short on 2nd and 3s, 3rd and 3s, and that was just absolutely killing us.
Yep. Did you see Kittle's postgame
No, I read a bit about it.
where he was saying the reason that they all got
Yes.
called back is because he was playing against Juice and What's his name in fantasy
McGlinchey.
football?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, those guys drop the ball on purpose.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's the best. How is he not the best?
He
the
is
best.
Yeah.
He seems like the most badass guy on offense.
Yes.
Like he looks for contact.
Yes.
He doesn't run away from it. He would rather mow over a defender than run around him.
And he runs around when it's smart too.
For sure, he can.
Yeah.
Somebody I was listening to this week said he runs through linebackers and away from cornerbacks,
Yeah.
which is funny because most people do the opposite.
He always
because
does.
they're bigger.
He always seems to do the right thing,
Yeah.
and he always gets more yards than you think he's going to get initially.
And he led the league last year in yards after catch.
I mean,
What more can you ask for?
the guy had 2 touchdowns this week, and they both got called back. The guy is just a fucking monster.
And then on top of it, he's funny.
Yeah.
Like he's not a dick. Like usually somebody that good when they talk, you're like, this guy's kind of a douchebag. Not at all. Seems like a great
100% genuine. What?
has fun. Is having fun.
What? Yeah, that's great, and I like that. But what I like more is they scheme to stop him, and they still can't fucking
he's the
stop
guy.
him. Yeah, he is that fucking good.
Yeah.
So I definitely didn't
Debo
see it at
Samuel got
first.
more snaps on offense than almost any wide receiver, and they couldn't stop George Kittle.
Agreed. Yeah, no, it's crazy. So that's
How do you feel the fact that he's white, Joe?
tight ends are one of the few positions that I'll let a white guy slide in.
All right.
In this world.
Let him slide in.
Hey.
I kind of wish he was a wide receiver just so Joe would have to eat his words on it.
Right.
You know, like I wish it was Trent Taylor putting up those numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that speaks to the fact that white wide receivers.
Unfortunately, it proves your point. Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm right, and I know, that's hard for a lot of people.
All of us in the room hate that.
Yeah, I know. And here's what's crazy. I'm just stating the obvious. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, it's not rated. It's just fucking logical. White people not going to be wide receivers. Sorry.
Every once in a while you'll find one, but
Yeah, it's
why?
not Don Beebe. Get the fuck out.
But
of
I
here.
mean, why take the chance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The my favorite part too is the debate all week was which wide receiver is going to be featured, and not a single person said Richie James.
Yeah.
He only caught one catch.
Yeah.
But it was the touchdown and the most yards for a wide receiver.
I'd say I was not expecting Debo Samuel to lead the team wide receiver snaps.
Neither was Kyle Shanahan. Did you hear any of what he had to say?
No, I actually didn't make it to him tonight.
He also was not expecting that and was not happy about that. It sounded like.
Okay. I mean, do you think he's just kind of saving face a little bit there?
No, this is what I heard. He said he took the blame for it. He didn't say it wasn't my fault. But he said we need to do a better job at that. That wasn't our plan. We need to do a better job with our substitutions, and that starts with me. That's what he said. But then if you listen to other people, I think it was Tim Ryan, it was somebody else was saying that Kyle Shanahan is not in charge of the substitutions. He sets the plan, and then there's assistant coaches that execute during the game. He's busy worrying about what the next play is going to be. He can't go, I'm going to call this next, so get this guy in and get that guy out. He doesn't have time for that. So the assistant coaches do that. And it was Tim Ryan, I believe, was saying they're all new this year because, like, the quarterback coach, he went to Denver, and, like, it's a whole new staff. So that's why he thinks it was jacked up. So Shanahan didn't
makes
blame
sense.
anyone, but it sounds like it was somebody's fault.
Yeah. Something.
Because he was very clear to, like, not put it on Dante Pettis. Like, he was very clear to say he should have been out there more.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I know what Steve said in the group text, like, if this is true that Dante only had 2 snaps, and I obviously looked for him, and even my wife was like, where's the cat guy, So I was looking for him, and I saw him, I saw the 1 reception, and then,
It's just all the buildup up to this point of just hearing negative things about him.
It's curious, for
And
sure.
then to have him dress for a game, you deemed him healthy enough to play, and you played him 2 snaps.
You got to figure somebody fucked up, though, when Debo has a fucking false start and still continues to get all the snaps.
Yeah.
Like, somebody fucked up. Like, a rookie should be sitting down for a couple drives after a false start
Agreed, yeah.
as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
make you think about it.
Come on.
But, I mean, overall, it was a pretty, aside from the penalties, it was a pretty uneventful first half for our offense. But, I mean, with 9 minutes to go in the half, this was pretty eventful. Jimmy throws a very ill-advised pass to the sideline that ends up being a pick six. The corner was just literally sitting there waiting on the curl route, and Jimmy was not under immediate pressure whatsoever. I've seen him do this 4 times now. No, 3 times. Going back to last year, Minnesota week 1. I think the wide receiver ran the wrong route, but it was a bad throw anyway. And then the Detroit game from last year, where he got so fucking lucky on a penalty that he would have lost that game on that interception he threw. It got called back by penalty. It's like something with him and outside the numbers, the ball takes longer to get there than he thinks it does, and the corner's just sitting there waiting for it.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. That's for sure. It definitely made me unhappy.
Yeah.
I think the one for me, as far as the offense is concerned, you're missing 2 wide receivers, one in Trent Taylor, who is supposedly, has this connection with Garoppolo, and Hurd, who's supposed to be an impact rookie. The offensive line is still, the center was fucking piss poor this game. He really was not that good. And I think the defense is going to be good enough to carry us a few weeks until the offense finds an actual rhythm. I think it's going to take a couple weeks.
I don't know about the run game because I don't know what I'm looking for with the offensive line, but it didn't seem like Jimmy was like under duress heavily, or Jameis Winston looked like he was in a shitstorm all day, and it didn't look that way with Jimmy.
Yeah,
and he was missing just bad accuracy.
Agreed.
There was like,
so I think it's going to take some time to find a rhythm. You know what I mean?
He has only played how many games in the NFL? People think he's like this veteran that's been playing for years because he's been around.
It's because of his record.
He doesn't have the
It's because he's
stars.
9-2.
Yeah. Like, the guy's played 11 football games.
I think
Let's
there's-
fucking slow down. If that was a rookie, we'd be like, yeah, he's a rookie.
I think there's multiple things at play here. Well, number one, he's coming off a serious injury.
Yeah. For sure.
Everybody else, every other quarterback that comes off a serious injury, everybody's really patient with them, and I feel like nobody's patient with Jimmy.
Yeah, it's all because I can only assume it's because we've heard his name so long because he was with Brady, and it just seems like he's been around longer than he really has for experience.
The second thing that I think that cannot go understated, that I don't think anybody's talking about, is that this is a completely different offense with Trent Taylor in the lineup. He proved in that first year that him and Trent probably had, I guess Marquise, they had some magic there, but him and Trent always had a good rapport, and he was Mr. Third Down. He was always the guy that he would find in open space and get big gains. And what was I going to say? Number 3, I think that what we've seen throughout this preseason and this first game is that Jimmy needs to settle into the game, because once we got into the second half, he looked a lot more comfortable out there. He seemed to be throwing more accurately, where early on, even though Kendrick Bourne made a good grab and Marquise Goodwin made a good grab, he seems to throw high and behind receivers quite a bit. And in the second half, I didn't see that as much. As that, I think he needs to settle into every single game, until he starts getting much more comfortable.
There were open receivers.
Yes.
Shanahan schemed them open, so that's there. It's if he can buckle in a little bit on the accuracy, we're going to win a lot of football games, because the defense is going to be solid. The defense is going to keep us in games. And I don't care if we win by 1 point or 100, as long as we keep winning and it gets better as we go, that's perfect for me. I'd love for the shady, sketchy, ugly wins to be early and then get it figured out as we move forward and towards the end of the year hit a stride. I think when we all saw the schedule, that week 4 bye kind of bummed us out. I think we all like a late bye to give everyone that break.
Yeah. But I think
the way it worked out is great
because
of Hurd and Taylor and Coleman. It really could help us a lot. We might get everybody back week 5 now.
And then another after, so you have this week with them being on the road and bonding there, and then you're gonna have a bye week, which is we're gonna have 3 games of film to figure out what really has to get dialed in,
how to move forward.
and then let's make they're gonna have to make a push there, when they come back, because the end of the season's super hard.
Like the part that gets me about Garoppolo is like some of those passes Mullins or Beathard could have made. Mm-hmm. Like the guy's open. It's not a tight window.
They're layup throws.
It's a layup, and he's totally behind the receiver and very close to getting more interceptions. But then the Richie James touchdown, you can't throw that ball better.
Him and Richie James make such sweet music together.
You cannot throw a better pass.
Yeah.
He didn't slow down in his stride. It landed in his breadbasket.
Richie James wasn't even the primary read on that throw.
No.
He was the second or maybe even third. But I think that this game played out to perfection, because let's live in a hypothetical world where Jimmy does throw 2 touchdowns to George Kittle. Everybody's thinking that Jimmy is great, and expectations are still sky high. Sure. Whereas you take those 2 touchdowns away, people look at the box score and say, "Uh-oh, Jimmy." Well, I think that this puts things into different perspective. Like, okay, let's settle down a little bit and give him a chance to get back to where he was.
You also can't take away it's easy. leading up to the game, everyone talked about the heat. It's going to be so hot. We're doing this with the tent, humidity, blah, blah, blah. The game starts. Nobody's talking about that or thinking about that. Not once when you were watching that game at home did you go, man, it must really suck in that heat.
I thought it a few times when they showed Shanahan. His hair was all messed up. His hair's
I thought he was
going to
get a sunburn, too. I was like, he's getting fucking sunburned.
Yeah.
But, like,
I
not,
didn't even
not as
consider it.
much as we thought about it before the game.
Yeah.
But realistically, it did happen. And if you're hot and sweaty like that and trying to grip a football, it could be anything.
Did you hear what McGlinchey said?
No.
He goes, our air-conditioned bench mysteriously stopped working after
yeah,
halftime.
I did hear that.
That's awesome.
That's home field advantage,
I love
man.
that
That's
shit.
home
Yeah,
field
that's
advantage.
dope.
So,
Or when the radios don't work.
Oh yeah, that's New England.
That is what it is.
Happens in New England all the time.
But like I said, that pass to Richie James, if he had a backpack on and turned it around to the front of him and it was open, the fucking ball would have landed in it. You can't throw a better pass.
Very similar to the one he kind of threw to Dante last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's there. If he can get it dialed in, it's there. And I'm totally okay with a football team that's defense wins them games and offense keeps them in games.
Yeah,
We've done that.
yeah.
We've been there. We went to a Super Bowl that way. I'm cool with that.
And
I'm totally cool
but
with
I
that.
think this offense is going to be more than that.
And it can be.
Yeah.
It certainly has a higher ceiling.
For sure. Agreed.
I think Jimmy, the Josh Allen for the Bills has played more NFL games than Jimmy Garoppolo. Think about that for a second.
I could name way worse than that.
Sam Darnold has played more football games in the NFL than Jimmy Garoppolo.
I mean, CJ Beathard has played the same amount of games. You know what I mean?
So insane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's
calm down.
he needs to play more than 5 games in a row. You know, he needs to get to week 7, 8, 9. If we get 7, 8, 9, and I see zero improvement, then it's time to start talking about things.
Well, and this is his first full year taking snaps in Kyle's offense.
Yes.
And look what happened to Matt Ryan his first year.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
So I think everybody's got to give Jimmy a chance to get back here. It's probably going to take a few weeks.
If we keep winning, he can have all the time he needs.
Yeah.
Once we start losing, then we're going to really be looking
Then
at
it's an issue.
Yeah.
So he had 2 touchdowns called back, and then Richie James negated a Raheem Mostert touchdown run. 2 plays later, it was the illegal formation penalty that negated a second Kittle touchdown. And then Todd Bowles, he ends up dialing an overload blitz to the strong side. Free rushers are able to get home almost immediately for a sack. That was in the red zone, absolutely brutally taking sacks in the red zone. But there's literally the only thing that could have been done in that situation is Jimmy or one of the linemen could have shifted over the protection because they just completely whiffed on that blitz. But that was the only time that he got sacked all day.
Sack.
Yeah. You know who we should check in with this week is the Crickets from last week.
I didn't even listen. Were they that bad?
Was
there one in the room? Flubb in the room?
It sounded like they were the 5th member of this motherfucking show. Those motherfuckers were there. Woo! Thinking about them Crickets all week.
My son's elementary school, their mascot's a cricket.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. We were at the orientation. I was like, wait a minute.
Get the fuck
A
outta
cricket?
here. Yeah.
And the principal even addressed it. She's like, some other schools might be bears or we're crickets. And I'm like, crickets?
So you're fucking annoying. Yeah.
Cricket? Like, are we just raising a bunch of pussies?
Hold
What are we?
on. Hold on.
Thank God it's elementary. If it was high school, I'd move.
Do you know what my
I'd move.
my elementary what do you call it, theme animal was?
Oh God.
We were the Eli Whitney.
It's called a mascot, Joe.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Theme animal.
It's still a mascot, even though it's elementary school.
Theme animal. What was your theme animal, Joe? What was your school's spirit animal?
We were the I guess we still are the Eli Whitney whales.
Ooh, still better than crickets, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now what are we, a large
A
animal?
whale would fuck a cricket
Definitely
up.
fuck a cricket up. And cricket is like, it's like a joke, like on top of it. Like,
I agree.
Oh, crickets.
You're annoying.
Yeah, can't hear anything.
Fuck
Just
out of here.
crickets.
Yeah, you get eaten by
Oh.
you get sold at pet stores to be eaten by lizards. The fuck out of here.
The fucking crickets.
So can we just discuss?
And there's like a guy, like so-and-so cricket. Like,
Jiminy Cricket. Yeah.
I forget his name, though.
Willie the Cricket.
It's so bad.
So can we discuss the super soft fumble that Debo gives up with 30 seconds left to go in
Oof.
the half while we're in field goal range?
That was
Yeah,
ugly.
that was weak.
It was like the ball was like out here. Like he wasn't even.
It hit.
It wasn't even one hand.
He ran into
cradle.
his own guy.
Yeah, nobody even touched it.
Yeah, that was soft.
That was bad.
I like that. I feel like he learned a lot this week. I think
I
the
hope so.
experience for him was.
Did you see his presser?
No, I didn't. I didn't
It's
even know
pretty
he
good.
had
He's
one.
very well spoken, and he talked about they were good learning things, and somebody said something about coaching, and he's like, yeah, the coaches are great. He goes, they're hard on us because they want us to do better, and I take coaching very well. Like it was not what I expected from a guy named Debo.
Right.
Let's put it that way. You
Right.
know.
Going back to Debo, I mean, the last notable thing that I'll say is that they converted the 2-point conversion after the Akello pick six. So that was good to see. I
It was a little
can't.
nerve-wracking not to see Bobby Gold out there, but take what you get.
Yeah. I
Well,
felt
that
like it was good. We had to go up. It made sense for us to go.
Yeah,
for
it
two.
wasn't just because of
No,
him.
I know completely, but it's still for something that's typically so automatic.
And I feel like we have not been successful at 2-point conversions over the past
No,
2
and
years
it's
at
a perfect
all.
time to practice it because he's dehydrated. Thank God it was dehydration with him.
Yeah.
Imagine we paid all that money and all that bullshit, and then he fucking. Although I feel like Wisnowski probably could do anything,
Right.
just because he's my new favorite kicker.
Put a foot on the ball.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Moving on to defense.
Yeah.
Off the top, 295 yards allowed, 174 passing, 121 rushing. 5 of 11 third downs allowed. 0 for 2 on fourth down. We allowed 1 for 4 in the red zone. We had 3 sacks, 7 hits, and 6 tackle for losses. We forced 4 turnovers, and we committed 4 penalties, one of them pre-snap. Just exactly what we all wanted to see.
Did you come?
No, because I knew that I knew that we were just going to fucking light Winston up. I honestly was not surprised by the outcome of this game.
Aria.
Aria Armstead.
He's fucking autocorrect. I'll tell you, it was fun to watch the defense, but it was also very frustrating to watch the defense because for every number you just listed, it should have been double. Mm-hmm. It should have been double. There were 2 interceptions that hit guys in
Early
the
on,
fucking chest.
Quan.
It hit him in the hands and chest, and he just fucking
And then
dropped
another
it.
one in the end zone by
Tarvarius Moore.
Yeah.
I mean, that might go to the house. That might go
Yes.
99 yards for
Yeah.
7.
Yes.
I mean, he knew it too, right
Jesus.
away. Yeah.
And how many times did Bosa get to Winston and just completely miss him?
Yeah.
And I get it. He's a rookie. It's all learning. And it's also
That's
Winston.
the ankle.
It's
That
also
is-
I think it's
the
Winston.
ankle.
Agreed.
That dude's an athlete.
Agreed.
I mean, if that was Flacco, he's smoked.
Yeah.
Agreed.
He's fucking smoked.
Agreed.
And probably out of the game with a guy that big. But it was frustrating because I feel like it could have been. I mean, we could have held them to 3.
There was a lot
and
of-
had like fucking 35 defensive points and
Yeah.
and like blew them out of the water.
There was a
Which
lot of
I
meat
guess
left
maybe
on the
this is
bone.
better because nobody expects it next week from us. But I mean, there was a lot there.
Yeah, it
And-
was almost pedestrian, but it was not to those who know what's going on.
I mean, Fred Warner.
What a stud.
Jesus,
What a fucking
huh?
stud, right?
I mean,
I
first of
was-
all, that forced fumble. He had another one called back
Yep.
on a flag for some other flag somewhere else that he punched the ball clear out on another one.
You do not see that from second-year players, even high draft pick players. That's like some 5-year
Yeah.
veteran shit.
And it was like precision punches knocking
Yes.
that ball out.
He
like if you
is-
watch the replay, it's very clear what he's doing, and it worked perfectly.
He's such a stud.
yeah, I think for what they lacked stopping the run, you got to give some of that to what's his name getting ejected.
Quan.
A middle
Yep.
linebacker
Yep.
like that.
And a
guy-
fast one that's gonna clog up the-
For
Yep.
sure.
I'm not
for
going to lie.
sure.
Ronald Jones looked good. Their running back. Their second-round pick running back from last year.
Yep.
He looked good.
Yeah, they ran the ball well,
And
but
also, Nzocha played really well as a fill-in.
Yeah.
He really did.
fucking lint trap.
I mean, right off the gate before Quan was even out, the blocked punt.
Yep.
Yeah, that
I mean,
was
how great
yeah,
was
He
that?
had a fucking good game for sure, all around. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get to special teams. We touched on fucking Wisnowski, but special teams I thought was all there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, San's a big.
How about that tackle? Was it the second punt or the first punt?
Yeah, they
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Rushed him.
I mean, granted they didn't have a big return. Everything was there, and he fucking came close on that 57-yard field goal. So,
Yeah, hit the bottom bar.
yeah.
So on defense, late in the first quarter, Tampa's approaching the red zone, and some very unlucky third-string tight end for Tampa gets tasked with having to block D. Ford. That didn't go well. D. Ford just bull rushes him right into Winston's lap and punches the ball out, which is what he did last year plenty. He led the
Leads the
league
league.
in forced fumbles from the quarterback.
Gotta love it.
That-
What I love about it is there was a lot of talk when we got him about why would they trade him unless he lost something, and is he going to be? He looks like exactly as advertised.
I think it's all health with him. I think
Yep.
it's all about if he's healthy or if he's not healthy. And I think that last year that switched. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Switch.
We got you.
Flipped. And he finally had like this career year. And then I think seeing him do it this week is like a confirmation bias. Like, of course, he could go back to disappearing for a few games here and there. But I think that just knowing that he has it in him on a
Sure.
team that isn't the Chiefs is that we got something here.
And also, I think some of the burden is taken off of him because we have so many defensive linemen.
It's just not even fair. It's literally not even fair that we can line up with Bosa, Armstead, Buckner, and D Ford all on the same line and get pressure with 4 on every single snap. It's literally not fair, and this week was literally just the tip of the iceberg.
for sure.
Just the tip of the iceberg. Once you guys get working together and
it
get
was-
into a rhythm, it is fucking dangerous.
It was a perfect week 1 for them to get rolling because
Yes,
their
a
offensive
tune-up
line
game.
sucks.
The perfect tune-up game.
Yeah. How about Witherspoon?
Witherspoon.
Yeah, he had
As
it in-
advertised from year 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there last year, but right, because this is his 3rd year.
Yep.
Yeah.
He needed a game like
Sophomore
this
slump was a real thing.
to get back in everybody's good graces
Yeah.
a little bit, to just not like, okay, we're counting on you to be our stud corner from now on, but just know that you have that in you. I like to know that players have that in them, because if I've never seen it before, then that doesn't mean that it can happen.
I think the biggest win for him is that now going into each week, the other team doesn't just say, well, we know who we're picking on. Because that's
Right.
what happened last year.
Yeah.
They never even tested Sherman.
Yeah, not
Nobody
he-
even tested him.
Yeah.
Because they knew they could pick Witherspoon apart. And that probably got into his head and just fed the insanity.
It snowballs.
For sure.
Problem just
And he has
snowballs.
a game like this, and now Cincinnati's like, well, who are we going to go after?
Are we worried about Richard Sherman?
I mean, I don't
not.
think that we're getting all pro Richard Sherman. I'm not even sure that we're getting Pro Bowl Richard Sherman, but I think that we're getting a starting cornerback Richard Sherman.
I mean, the
who-
league is changing.
Yeah.
The problem with Richard Sherman is this whole pass interference thing it's him. Like, it's designed to stop him
Hey,
from
that's
doing,
what I'm saying.
Like,
That's
he's the
what-
one.
that's what I
for
just
sure.
said. Yeah,
And
yeah.
in fact, if that rule was that rule for the last 5 years, we may not have signed him because he might not be the same player because
Right.
that's what he does. That's what he did when he was in Seattle.
Exactly.
And
Now,
that's
did
what he
you
does now.
see that they're a small stink made about like one of the last plays of the game that Richard Sherman pass interfered Mike Evans and it wasn't called?
It was
was
called, and they reviewed it, and they deemed it not pass interference.
Okay.
No. It was not called.
Correct.
And it was reviewed, and they upheld. They also left it upheld.
I definitely thought that was pass interference.
And that's what I think Pereira said.
I know. I heard Sherman talk about it. He was pretty adamant that he got pushed off, but I mean, I definitely thought that was pass interference.
Okay, so Al Riveron, whoever that is.
River Run.
That's like the head of.
Yeah.
Like, he's the guy in New York making the call.
He determined Mike Evans was not significantly hindered by Richard Sherman, or at least that's how they're wording it. So it was determined that both the offensive
At the time,
and
yeah.
defensive player were contacting each other as they were going down the field. So, okay, I just didn't know if we should be nervous.
That guy's a joke, though. Riveron, he blows shit every single week.
I don't know.
It's only a matter of time until he's gone.
And I think Sherman's a smart enough guy to adjust his game a little.
I don't mind that he does it.
He's a button pusher, so he's going to push the boundary
sure.
and find where the boundary is and then take a step back, hopefully.
Their attitude in Seattle was, are you going to throw a flag on us on every single play?
Yeah.
No, you're not going to throw a flag
Yeah,
on us
so
on
we'll
every
eat the
single
one that
play.
you do throw.
Yeah.
I mean, but the problem is a smart head coach is going to challenge at just the right time where it's going to cost us points or cost us.
50-yard
It's going to be a
pass
tough
or
one.
so. Yeah, they're going to test them. They're going to goad them, and they're going to get them.
For
They're
sure.
going to tell a ref, hey, keep an eye on this. Which
Yeah,
I'm sure
for
they
sure.
do anyway.
But the Sherman pick six, just an absolutely atrocious throw by Jameis Winston. I don't know if I can put it on him or if it's on their running back, but they clearly were not on the same page.
Did you
on
hear
that.
Sherman talk about it?
No.
He basically said it was the exact same scenario as Jimmy's.
Mm-hmm.
So he said that he's lined up with a back. So it's a back over there. And he goes, in their offense, they do certain things with a back. They only run certain routes with a back in that because they've studied it. So he knows what the route is going to be. And he expects the back to take 5 steps in his route. But the back took 6, and it fucked him all up, he said. So he had to, like, readjust. And by the time he readjusts, he realized it's mine. The ball's there. And so it was like a bad throw on top of
Him
a
being
bad
out of
route
position.
run.
Yep. I saw him reach out for the goal line, and he dropped the football.
like,
I was like,
Jesus.
oh, my
And
God.
he grabbed it again.
Yeah.
And there was somebody right behind. Warner was right behind him, too.
Tavarius Moore had a pretty good game in coverage. That guy can't tackle for shit, though.
Yeah, that was brutal.
He cannot tackle.
Brutal.
But I can live with that because his primary job is coverage.
Shanahan actually said that if Jimmy's healthy, he's going to have to challenge for that starting. It's not his.
I agree with
Because the way
that.
Moore played.
We'll get you up. If he's healthy. Big if.
Chris Godwin is able to score a touchdown despite being practically molested by Richard Sherman in the end zone. Literally draped all over him. I have no idea how that ball made it through, and I have no idea how he made that catch. That's just a ridiculous play by a very talented wide receiver.
Yeah,
There's
he's a
nothing you
stud.
could do to stop that. DJ Jones jumps on a field goal attempt, which tempts Tampa into going. So it's 4th and 4 on the 4, or 4th and goal at the 4. We jump. It gets it to 4th and 2, and then they go for it. I thought that was strange. But anyway, they go for it, and then, like we talked about before, Tavarius Moore gets his hands on it to break up the pass. Great jump on the ball. But he should have taken that the fucking distance.
Yeah, he read that all the way. He was watching Jameis's eyes the whole way.
Yep.
And Jameis fucking...
He fell for it. Jameis is not a good quarterback.
No.
Like, I've been on the fence about Jameis. Like, I've liked his game, but he does stupid shit.
I never liked him.
He's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
He's not a quarterback.
Not a great decision maker.
No.
Probably should
And
have
Not a
that's-
great decision maker.
Probably
He
should have been a
needs-
tight end or wide receiver.
Or have an offensive coordinator that calls plays for the type of quarterback
For
he
his
is.
strength,
Don't
yeah.
leave anything up to him.
Agreed.
Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the ball. You're going to throw it to that guy.
He needs a Jim
Don't
Harbaugh.
make a decision.
Yeah.
If that's not there, run.
Well, what's crazy about this is that
Right,
over the
Harbaugh.
past 5 years, Winston's problems have been well documented. That instead of taking a sack, he'll chuck it up as he's falling down.
We saw it.
And like,
Yeah.
One of those, he was
Witherspoon.
like literally falling down and just
Witherspoon.
whipped it.
do you think that Bruce Arians didn't know this coming in and didn't make it a point of emphasis to try and tell Jameis, just take the fucking sack? But yet he still does it. He can't help himself.
Yeah,
It's him. It's not the coaching. It's
sure.
him.
for sure.
Eric Armstead, he comes up huge in the 4th quarter with a pivotal 3rd down red zone sack. Great to finish with that. And then on the next drive, our front 4 didn't even blitz, forces Winston to throw just an inexcusable throw that gets picked by Keller Witherspoon for the pick 6, and that's game over.
Back to Sherman, you also have to realize that he's covering Mike Evans on those plays.
I hear you.
He's not going to be covering Mike Evans every week.
agreed.
So it should get better in that aspect
Yeah.
alone. You got to push the boundary a little when you're covering him.
Yeah.
I think that Mike Evans was feeling a little down. He had the flu over the weekend.
You saw that, and he kept like going after like a big play. He would take a break and get a towel over his head. He didn't look good.
He was talking
Thank
to Akello during the game, and he was telling Akello, "I'm tired." I don't know why you would tell your opponent that. You know what I mean?
I would if I wasn't.
I mean, sure, it's a tactic, but
Man,
yeah,
I'm shot. Right by him.
Mike Evans did not look like Mike Evans in this
Thank
game.
God, because last time we played them, that's what they
yeah, he
they just
smoked us.
crushed us with him.
But I said this in the chat, the biggest difference between this team and the team of the last 2 years is that the team of the last 2 years lets Winston march down the field for the go-ahead touchdown with pillow soft coverage. This team actually has closers that play on both edges, and we can actually get to the quarterback.
Well, one last thing. I know we're wrapping up defense. What do you think about Solomon Thomas snap count?
Not promising. I mean, you're playing in a game where Nick Bosa is suffering a high ankle sprain a few weeks ago. You're trying to take it easy on him. D Ford was dealing with the knee all training camp. You might want to take it easy on him. And yet Solomon Thomas only plays 14 snaps?
Not a lot.
That is not good.
Not good, Papa.
That speaks volumes to me. So we'll see what happens next week, but that's not looking good. That's all I got.
So here's what we got. It's the Beast of the Week. Week number 1. Got a W. Seamless, bitch.
I forget what the usual order is. Who goes first?
Don't matter. Dude, we're on the fly here, Papa. You go first, you so antsy.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Offense is easy.
offense.
Yeah, no question.
Offense is going to George Kittle. I mean, the guy
Absolutely.
just
Kills
is
him
an
bits.
All the way
absolute fucking
around.
train
Yeah.
wreck.
And should have had 2 touchdowns, another 50 yards.
And
He
of
is-
those 54 yards, 37 to 39 of them were with somebody draped on him or getting mowed over.
After the catch,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Double
he
coverage.
is the best tight end in the league. He's better than Kelsey. He's better than Ertz. He does shit that those 2 guys don't do. Those other 2 guys might be adequate receivers as good as he is, but he does so much extra that doesn't involve him having the football in the blocking game and in the open field when he does have the ball, making defenders miss.
And to me, if you go and you've got, let's say, 5 guys that are all close, show me yards after catch. That says it all right there. I mean,
Who wants it more? Yeah.
who's getting it? Who's getting it after they catch the ball and breaking tackles and running through people? 100%.
Is George Kittle the most important offensive player that we have right now?
Yes.
Hands,
Hands
down.
down. No doubt.
I mean, you could say Jimmy, but
If
then
he
we've
didn't play
seen,
this game, then what?
we're fucked.
We probably don't win this game.
If George Kittle gets hurt, we're fucked.
right now.
right
Hopefully
now.
it turns into
Yeah.
something where that's not the case. But in this game, 100%.
Defensive side of the ball, Steven.
I got to give it to Akello after coming off just an absolute train wreck of a year.
There's a lot of good choices out there.
There is.
To answer
I have my choice.
like he did. I mean, I know that the interception was thrown pretty much right to him. The run for the touchdown was pretty easy, but when I saw him guarding Mike Evans down the field and literally living in his front pocket, that says something to me.
3 passes defended is pretty huge.
Yes.
In a football game. Also, you could say the interception was thrown right to him, but so was the one to...
Sherman.
Well, yeah, but also so was the 2 that got dropped.
Yeah, to Quan.
You still have to catch it and run.
Who was the other one? There was Quan and there, yeah,
Tavarius
Tavarius.
Moore.
Yeah.
So you still have to catch it and do it.
Yes.
So, and he did. And I was thinking the same thing just because of how bad his year was last year and where we were with him. That I'm going to go Witherspoon as
It's
well.
funny because I'm seeing all of the beat writers come out and say he looked like the best corner in camp the whole time, and I'm like, well, why did you guys not say anything?
I've heard that. I've heard that before the game.
Really?
They
Yeah.
were keeping the secret.
Yeah, no, I heard people say that back in the
guess,
game.
yeah.
They're in on it. I am going to go a different direction. I'm going to give it to steady Freddie Warner here. Defense seems to revolve around him, believe it or not, even with all these studs. I like him as a centerpiece.
He's such a stud.
And I also think
I like his hair.
the fact that we brought in Jason Verrett,
Yeah.
brought in these guys, and Witherspoon still was the starter, points to the fact that he was.
Well,
I don't
Brett's
know.
not
Things
ready.
might have gotten interesting if Ferret had stayed healthy. I don't know. I heard that he was doing pretty good.
That's good.
Who are you-
Good problem to have.
Steve's got inside sources.
Who did you
Rob
go with?
agreed with
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon. And I mean, I just want to take a minute to just say that Nick Bosa is everything that he was as advertised.
And he's only going to get better. That was his first game in the NFL.
I mean,
Jesus.
he will get better, but I don't think that. I always said that Nick Bosa is NFL ready right now, but he doesn't have that much more room to grow. He could prove me wrong. This is just what I think. I think that he's pretty much as NFL ready as you can get, and he will grow a little bit, but he won't I don't think he has that much more room to grow before he hits his ceiling.
I just mean that
But that's not a bad thing.
if this game happened in week 12, he would have at least 2 or 3 sacks.
Yeah, on a
Because he
healthy
whiffed.
ankle. I mean,
He whiffed. I mean, he was there more than the sack that he has.
Should
he was
not
there to
play
make more.
until he's healthy?
No,
we need him.
because of his sack and his disruption in this game.
I
Yeah.
understand, but is it going to be a thing where he's going to be at 70% all year? and
Shanahan
then-
I'll take
said-
him at 70%
Yeah.
all year,
That's fine with me.
rather than not
Okay.
there for 5 games.
Okay.
And
Yeah, but I'm not saying 5, but maybe 2 or 3 now to the bye. Two games and then the bye.
you got to remember that he went pretty much his entire college year not playing football, and then he pretty much went all of training camp, with the exception of the first few practices, not playing football, not getting live reps in any preseason game, and to come out with your first NFL game with that kind of performance when you haven't played in a real game in over a fucking year.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa is everything that he was supposed to be.
Now, he didn't practice today.
Yeah, I think that they're just going easy on him during the week.
It's not what they said.
Okay.
They said he is still sore from the game, and that if he was able to go and practice, he would have. but they hope that he will be back to a healthy enough position to play this weekend.
Okay.
It didn't sound great, but it didn't sound terrible. They didn't say like, oh yeah, he re-injured it, but they said it's a high ankle, so there's going to be those. And they kind of pointed back to Breida last year, and Shanahan kind of was like, no, not quite like that.
Yeah. And I mean, you got the yin and the yang. You got the polar opposites. You got Nick Bosa, who is, we know he's fucking good. And then you got, who tends to get hurt a lot. Then you got Solomon Thomas, who never gets hurt, and we don't know if he's good or not. We're trending in the direction of saying that he's not good. I mean, I will take 10 games of Nick Bosa over 16 games of Solomon Thomas.
Fair.
I mean, at this point, yeah. All right. What else you got here, Steven?
That's it for this one.
Chris,
Get us
you got
outta here.
time? I think that's adequate. Anybody have anything else they'd like to say to these fucking assholes?
Nope. Bring it to the next one.
All right, well, hold on. We're in the fucking regular season here. Take it easy.
We're okay begging for money now that it's regular
That's
season.
right, motherfuckers.
Yes.
So, well, first of all, email us. Tell us what you think about this game, next game. Fuck the bye week special. I don't give a fuck what you want to talk about. Just drop an email. goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. There's an Instagram account. There was a, what do you call it when people vote?
A poll?
A poll about the Matterson intro today that I see our friend Mike Curran had up there. Giddy up, go over there and take a look at that menagerie of awesomeness. Then there's a Patreon account where we received a $500 a month donation today. Big money.
Big money.
That means big things for us. We can put that money to work, bringing you a better podcast. Steve, tell the people how they can do that.
You could go to patreon.com/Gold-Blooded Podcast. You can donate to us as little as $1 a month, as much as $1 trillion a month.
Be like Cole M., who donated $500 a month today. Big shout out to Cole for that donation.
Right now he's like, fuck, what did I do?
Let me check my numbers. All right, with that said, fuck the Tampa Bay Bucks.